እንድታካሂዱልን እንጋብዛለን።
Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed arrived in Djibouti City for the 41st extraordinary session of the IGAD Assembly of Heads of State and Government, according to the Office of the Prime Minister. The 41st extraordinary session of IGAD Assembly is expected to discuss various issues of regional importance, such as security, trade, infrastructure, energy, and climate change. Upon arrival in Djibouti, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was greeted by the IGAD Executive Secretary, Workneh Gebayel. The Premier also met and held bilateral discussions with the President of Djibouti, Ismail Omar Guelleh. Moving on, the Ethiopian Disaster Risk Management Commission says it has finalized preparations to provide humanitarian support to prioritized vulnerable communities for the third round this December 2023. In a statement it issued on humanitarian assistance in Ethiopia, the Commission noted that following the temporary suspension of emergency aid provision by its partners, and with a view to alleviating the economic and social pressure on the vulnerable communities, the government has provided 7.9 billion birr in food aid and cash assistance to 7.3 million people for the past 5 months in 2 rounds from July to November 2023. The statement further said the national humanitarian aid recipients identified include 6.5 million displaced citizens and communities affected by the effects of drought in different parts of the country. The emergency aid package on Channel included more than 867,000 quintals of food aid in kind and more than 560 million birr in cash. The total support worth more than 8.6 billion birr, it has said.
ትርኢት በተለያዩ አልባሳት ደምቀው እያሳዩን ያልፋሉ። ብሔረሰቦችና ህዝቦች ይገኛሉ። እነሱም እንደዛው በክብር እንግዶች ፊት የመንግስት ስር የሚገኙ ኩሱሜ፣ ጌዲዮ፣ አሌ፣ ባስኬቶ
are now parading on the stadium, showing us their unique, their very live traditions and their way of dressing.
መካከል የሲዳማ ብሔራዊ ክልላዊ
And now let's turn our attention to stories selected for detailed analysis. Ethiopianness means a national identity centered on multinational unity. This was the spirit in which the annual Ethiopian Day of the Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day was celebrated in Jigjiga, Somali State. And the participants of the festival told ABC that the day it contributes to bolster national and multinational unity. Shagar Mata presents the report compiled by our staff reporter Haptama Shagre from Jigjiga.
The 18th Ethiopian Nation's Nationalities and People's Day was colorfully celebrated in Jigjiga town, Somali regional state, with various assortments. President Sahle-Work Zewde, Vice President of the Prosperity Party Adam Farah, Speaker of the House of Federation Agagno Tashagar, Chief Administrators of regional governments, and senior federal and regional officials as well as city mayors are in attendance.
This is a sign of what colorful Ethiopia means. Over 84 nations, nationalities and peoples of Ethiopia are coming in Jigjiga town, the capital city of Somali state, to celebrate the 80th nationals and peoples of Ethiopia. As you see, there are a lot of hymns, song, and cultural attractions they are experiencing with other nations and nationals of Ethiopia. While observing the 80th nationals and peoples of Ethiopia in Jigjiga town, the capital city of state of Somali, eyewitnesses that further activities are needed to promote this cultural festivity to the international community, mainly focused on UNESCO to inscribe it as a World Intangible Heritage, to attract more foreign tourists here in the capital and also other parts of the nation. And it's a symbol of all Ethiopians to promote their culture, to promote their song, to promote the way of living to other nations and nationals of Ethiopia.
Participants of the festival expressed that the celebration demonstrates the nation's and nationalities' multinational color and diversity to the whole world, adding it contributes to strengthen the unity and peaceful coexistence of Ethiopians.
To get for those who are first of all of Africa and the world. And also I said, if we are continuing such as this one, we will get for aim our points, not to practice minds our countries under the earth.
The festival, which was celebrated under the motto Diversity and Equality for National Unity, was commemorated in a way that can strengthen national and multinational unity.
And finally, an author and sociologist, Donald Levine, spent several years through doing field work in Ethiopia, which resulted in his first book, Wax and Gold, Traditional and Innovation in Ethiopian Culture. Although Levine passed away at the age of 84 in 2015, he spoke to Meet EBC at the age of 71, where he stressed that Ethiopia is the oldest multi-ethnic national society in the world. Jerusalem Betsiaka has compiled the following story.
Donald Levine was an American sociologist, educator, social theorist, and written at the University of Chicago, where he served as dean of the college. Donald Levine's publications on Ethiopia include dozens of articles, parts of The Flight from Ambiguity, Essays in Social and Cultural Theory, 1985, and two books, Wax and Gold, Tradition and Innovation in Ethiopian Culture, 1965, and Greater Ethiopia. During his postdoctoral fellowship, he spent 3 years in Ethiopia, which include teaching a course at the University College of Addis Ababa. Levine was also eager to learn Ethiopian language, to know about Ethiopian cultures and their way of life.
I became good friends with General Mengistu and his brother Girmami, and then began to study Amharic very seriously. And at the university, I found some students. And one of the students agreed to meet with me, and every week we would meet once or twice and read through Addis Zaman together, the newspaper. I don't know if it's still around. So even though I was learning slowly Amharic, I knew I had to really understand the language much better to understand what I wanted to about Amharic culture. And in Addis Ababa, all the Ethiopians I met wanted to speak English with me. So I said, Wada Agarbet Mehed Alabin.
Levine spoke to Meet EBC at the age of 71. He admires Ethiopia's multi-ethnicity in this way.
And frankly, one thing I can say to outsiders is that's not well known. Ethiopia is probably the oldest multi-ethnic national society in the world.
Levin passed away at the age of 84 in April 2015.
Well, the viewers, with that, we come to the end of today's news. Thank you for watching us.